Right. Now we're live. We'll see if anybody wants to hang out. Hello, hello. How are you? Just hanging out, kind of bored. Thought I'd go live and see if anybody else was bored. Well, Pomp, I had to get it down. Besides, I wasn't planning on doing anything. I'm just bored and seeing if anybody wants to hang out. At least I'm not braiding butt hair. Could be worse. So, what's your job interview for tomorrow, Pomp? Like, what kind of job are you going to be doing? Hi, Cat. How are you? Just asking Pomp what he was going to be doing for his new job. Pomp, I think if I could, that'd be a record breaker. You might want to call Guinness. Hopefully, you get your job though. I just got a new job today. Oh no, no, I could not do that job. I need an Eskimo suit when the temperature drops below 70 Fahrenheit. Yeah, I'm no good in cold weather. I don't know why I live in Missouri. We have cold weather here for half the year. Well, yeah, I mean, if I needed the job and that was the one open, I guess I would do it. I'd buy an Eskimo suit and show up to work looking like Velma off of Scooby Doo. Yeah, be able to hear me about like you can Cartman. Wah 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 wah. Or is that Kenny? No, that's Kenny. Yeah, that's Kenny, isn't it, Cat? That they always kill off. The one that wears the hoodie all tied up around his face. They should pump. Honestly, they should provide you with personal safety equipment and all that. Man, just because you're the supervisor, it doesn't mean you'll have to go into the freezers. Hopefully. I've watched a couple of them pump. They weren't really my style either. I was always more into the kid friendly stuff, but then again, when I was young enough to watch cartoons without kids, I was always outside because I grew up out in the woods. Like literally, when it was warm outside, when the sun come up, and you got done eating breakfast. Mom's like, "Get your ass out of the house! Don't let me see you again till lunch." Not really, but I mean, the effect was the same. If you got bored, you were told that you could either go find something to do, or mom would find you something to do. I don't doubt you'll get the job, huh? I actually just got a phone call about half an hour ago, I guess, and buddy of mine told me that local restaurant and bar might be looking for a cook. So I called them up and they're like, "Oh yeah, we know you. Yeah, come in Thursday." So I'm like, "Okay." So I guess I'll be bartending. I liked Family Guy for a while, but the humor kind of fell flat. It started getting too political, I guess. It kind of like a lot of the what you might call adult cartoons. Oh yeah, I like it. I've been a bartender before, and I know the crowd that goes down there. Oh yeah, yeah, I got the whole "Don't cry or I'll give you something to cry about." Yeah, I got that one too. Yeah, if you're bored, I'll find you something to do. Don't cry or I'll give you something to cry about. Walk it off. Well, no, for you guys it's not, but that's the thing. And I don't know. Maybe you guys have got shows that do the same thing over there. They go from being entertainment to being slightly entertaining to being like a political platform for the creators. I always thought entertainment should just be entertainment. If I wanted politics, I'll watch the yeah, eat your dinner or go hungry. Yeah, yeah. But hey, I mean, we say that's crazy, but uh, I think we all grew up a little bit better off than most. I look at some of the generations we got coming after us, and I'm like, good lord, what in the world happened? Where'd y'all's common sense go? No, I mean it's really not. No, I mean not that I don't laugh my butt off when I see a couple of politicians getting into an argument on the floor of the House of Representatives, but you know, I really wish that politics would stay where it needs to be. It really does. Honestly, guys, I'm just like your average down home American person, and I can tell you right now, what's on the news. That's not the way most of us are. 100%. Most of us are just like everybody else, man. We want to have a little fun. We want to raise our families. We want to be able to make a living at the job we're doing. Most of us are not glued to a TV watching political crap all the time. We're not a bunch of gun toting crazy people. Yeah, most of us do have guns, but most of us with guns also avoid those who run around toting them like a crazy man because we're like, no, that dude's stupid. He's going to hurt somebody. Um, there's a lot of stereotypes out there, and I will be the first one to laugh at them. Like, I'm going to totally laugh at them. A redneck, well, okay, so Pomp, let me explain something to you. All right, so I live up in the hills. Like my area is surrounded by hills and everything else. So, like technically, I'm a hillbilly. If you're a redneck, redneck tends to be more toward you live in the flatlands. You're a row crop farmer. Um, yeah, our gun laws can be a little bit crazy. I think there are far too many loopholes to gun ownership. Um, hillbilly, yep, that's it. A hillbilly. Virginia, now that would depend. That would depend. Virginia's a lot of hill country, so you got a lot of hillbillies. Bayou, we call them Cajun. And if they talk so fast you can't understand them, they're called coon ass Cajun. If you guys want to see one, okay. So I don't know if YouTube has this, but if you really want to get a look at hear some Cajuns talk, look up something called Swamp People. Now it's a show about these people, teams of people that go around and they eliminate like nuisance gators, like gators that are getting up in people's houses, yards, and pools, and generally being dangerous. And they go and they eliminate them. Redneck can also be a definition of like the way you believe. Generally, redneck and hillbilly are considered interchangeable. We only make a difference because we like to give each other crap. People from the hills are like, ah, you little flatlander. People from the flatlands where it's a bunch of fun. Ah, damn hillbillies. Just a regional thing. It's all good fun. Hi, Cheza. How you doing, darling? Um, but generally, the term hillbilly or redneck, it's not considered an insult unless you make it that way. And if you really think they're a hillbilly or a redneck, don't make it that way because you got one or two. Yeah. So I was testing out something earlier, Phil, to see if it would work. Moonshine? Oh, honey, that's anybody that's got skill too. I could make moonshine if I wanted to, but it is technically illegal. That's why I like the show Moonshiners. Um, it's it's actually still illegal to make it here off the books, like bootleg. But I mean, you ask a police officer to run up in the hills and go catch some group of dudes that have lived in them hills all their lives and could run through them like a jackrabbit, and not make any sound. And they could be possibly liquored up and they probably have guns. The police officers most of the time are like, yeah, yeah, okay, I want a bigger team. Don't pull my leg. It hurts. Spandex? No. Spandex is evil. I grew up in the 80s and early 90s. Spandex is evil. It is evil. Some of the worst things. Yeah, it's so that one's always been, even over here, that one's always been kind of tongue in cheek. Like, okay, these guys are, making moonshine and they're putting it on TV and all that. But, the thing is there actually have been a couple of them that have been arrested off camera. Some fans are like, "Hey, why does the people keep changing?" Well, the people keep changing because they sign a waiver and they know that this is going to be on TV and there's a chance that they could get caught. So basically, it comes down to uh, do people report them? Do the police get to say, "Well, nobody's actually reported it, so it's hearsay"? A lot of people wondered how so many of them have gotten away with being on TV about it, but they do for a little while anyway. Um, there's been a couple of them like that. There's been also a couple of them that have left that show because they have gone straight. They've gone like legit with their business. Um, People continue to do it because they do it the traditional way because that's the way it's always been done, and it's I guess kind of a badge of honor. Well, Pomp, that's kind of the reason why I think they've got to sign a waiver and shit. Like they don't have to participate in this TV show. It's a reality TV show, and they're signing a waiver basically saying that they're not going to come back on the TV show if they get arrested for doing what is illegal when they know they're going to have it on TV. So it's basically, hey, if you're dumb enough to make moonshine on TV, I'll make money off of it all day long, and if you get arrested, you can't come back and sue me. Yeah, but there's a lot of places now that that has kind of become less dangerous because pretty much anybody that wants to can in certain states grow their own. Like if I wanted to, I could grow my own. Um, there are different states have different laws on it, but generally it's state wise it's legalized. Now here's the kicker: it's not legalized by the feds. So if at any point in time our government wants to choose to come in and do massive raids in all these states, the states are going to have a choice. They either stand up and say, "Hey, this is a state's right; it's our right to choose," or they allow the raids to happen and they leave it in the federal government's hands. That's one of the big things that a lot of us drive. Not to get political, but a lot of us now are driving to get people to educate themselves. Not only on how our government works, but what is actually the right of our federal government to decide, and what the rights of our states are to decide. And basically, it comes down to if it's not one of our 14 amendments, the federal government really shouldn't have a say in it. Because as our Constitution goes, if the amendments are not there, then that means it's a state's right. So, yeah, it gets kind of mental dealing with the laws over here, dude. I mean, seriously. And then you got 50 states, so you got to check if you're going with anything that's even slightly iffy, you've got to check the states to make sure where you can go and where you can't, or you may have to leave something at home. It can get kind of crazy. It really can. People say lawyers are crooks, but good lord, show me an average person that is going to have the time to sit down and actually learn all this. And I'm just giving you the high points. I don't really know all the details on it. I have seen some that smoke themselves stupid, and anybody that's ever smoked will know what that means, and they just burn their freaking brains out. I mean, it's like they act like 3-year-olds on a sugar rush. They have absolutely no self control. They have very little intelligence left. Um, and yeah, I've seen it. It. Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've actually gotten into arguments with a couple of coworkers because I'm like, dude, you're at work. What the hell is wrong with you? And I've worked in a kitchen or a factory most of my life, so having somebody in the kitchen or standing next to me at on the assembly line higher than a kite, yeah, no way, I'm not doing it. Some people do actually pump. Some people do. That's always been a no-no to me. But I've always worked a career where if you weren't paying attention to what you were doing, you were either gonna chop off a finger or hurt somebody really bad. Yeah, that's always been my big thing. Stay. Yeah, let's try that again. That's always been my big thing, Phil. You don't What you do on your own time is your own time. I've always been that way. But don't bring it to work. And if you're going to come into my space, have enough respect for me that if I don't want that around me, to not bring it to me. You know, yeah, that's always been my big thing. I've actually seen people, and that's why the workman comp laws are the way they are. Um, if you uh, if you get hurt at work, one of the first things they ask is, will you take a drug test? And if you can't pass a drug test, not only do you get fired, you do not get any help with it. Um, and if you cause damage, you can actually be prosecuted for it. So yeah, I don't want to do that. But then again, stay tuned. I've worked with some people that were just plain flipping idiots, um, without being stoned. They were idiots. Oh, I would hope not. Oh, cat, that would be a bad way to go. But I mean, yeah, it happens. Unfortunately, that's why there's rules against it. And even in states where it's legal or considered legal, there are laws against using it in the vehicle. They have started to do it sort of like they do alcohol. You can't be getting high and driving. I don't know how they test for that, but yeah, they've pretty much, even in the states they've legalized it with. Um, they kind of treat it like alcohol when it comes to work or driving. Now, I actually seen one idiot playing around on a forklift and trapped his buddy between the forks. Like, I don't know what it was. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. uh, had it run into a sheet metal wall. Again, I have no idea how it happened, but apparently his buddy was riding around on the forks and they were being stupid, and he couldn't make it stop, and it run into the wall. And luckily, his buddy was able to jump down between the forks, or he'd have been thrown into the wall. I think I probably would have jumped off the forks instead of between them, but neither one of them were real high on the intelligence scale. I think they might have rated right around fish. Yeah, I don't do all that. Oh, anyway, I did have a couple things I wanted to tell you. Uh, so I am going live tomorrow. I'm gonna go live about 1 o'clock my time, and it's gonna be steak bites. I have a job interview. Well, I don't have to have an interview for it. Basically, I've got to go sign the paperwork Thursday to start a new job. So I know I will have Sundays and Wednesdays off, so if I do any more lives, it will be either a Sunday afternoon or Wednesday, probably about the same time I do tomorrow. Yeah, Cat, I have never actually seen that. Um, yeah, I don't think I'd want to see that. Not that anybody would want to see that happen, but I know what you mean by the red mist. Uh, I had a friend worked high steel that got to see that. Uh, he didn't go back to work for that company. He couldn't. As a matter of fact, I think that was the last high steel job he ever did. He went to doing just regular commercial construction. I have had accidents, pump, but generally it's just me involved. Like I burnt my arm on the oven doors a couple of times because we had them spring-loaded French door ovens. Didn't get it kicked back far enough, so it come back on me and burnt my arm. Of course, being a cook, I've cut my hands. But yeah, no, I've never seen an accident where anybody really got hurt. I've heard about enough of them to know that I want to avoid that situation. So, but yeah, this might be the last live I do. Well, no, I'll do one tomorrow, but it might be the last one I do for a couple of weeks because I know how it is whenever I start a new job. Usually takes me about a week or so to get used to the new schedule. So I've never seen that either, Pomp. I mean, I've seen a couple dead bodies, but it's always yeah. I won't want don't go into that one. But hi, Candy. It's good to see you too, hon. Yeah, those ones were personal, so I won't go into that. But I could see that would freak me out. I mean, I don't even know how I would handle that. Be out on the water fishing, and that's what you see. Yeah, no, thank you. That'd be enough to induce nightmares for weeks. Well, hello, William. Nice to see you, Candy. I'm glad you finally got to make it in. Uh, yeah. So I had a few. I've had a few lives this week. They weren't anything big. It was just basically me trying to figure all my stuff out. So that's what this last one was. You guys might notice the pump has got a wrench. I was trying to get together at least four mods from different time zones. I don't know if I'll need them. Um, those of you who are my mods now will probably get pretty bored, but I would like to have them there. But that way, if I do say get the chance to go live at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm bored, somebody will probably be up. How are you today, William? We're just chatting and hanging out. We were talking about Americans and rednecks for a little while. Uh, then we were talking about legalization and different laws, and how hard it can be to keep all that crap straight from state to state over here. Hello, Denise. Nice to see you coming in. Yep, everybody. I think everybody knows each other. What do you do for a living, William? Yeah, stay tuned. The only thing is I have noticed on a couple of my lives that some new names have showed up. And with me being mostly a cooking channel, once I do start getting out there, um, I anticipate having a few more in from outside the community. Uh, and I just want to make sure that they all understand. Um, this is going to be a fairly relaxed live streams as far as I'm concerned. I do have a no, you don't get any strikes. If you come in causing trouble bad enough that I feel like I need to give you a timeout, then I'm just going to ban you because I'm not going to deal with it. Just not going to deal with it. That being said, we are all adults. We enjoy some adult humor. We have some tongue-in-cheek jokes. We like to give each other shit. As long as it's just the usual back and forth, we're all adults. But if anybody comes in trying to be a jackass, I'm just not going to deal with it. I don't deal with jackass people in my life. I'm not going to deal with it online. All you guys know each other. I consider all you guys to be my friends. And I do this for me. So if me kicking a jackass out of chat causes problems, well, they're going to be banned, so I'm not going to know it anyway, and I'm not going to care. Yep, Pomp has the police badge. Now, Pomp, don't make me take the needle on the other end of it and poke you in the butt every now and then. So, hey SoCal, how you doing? We're just chatting and hanging out. Uh-oh. Oh, what did I do with him? I have no idea what I did with him. Alright, so my sound might go a little bit. Well, see, now that's why I said, if anybody's coming in here and they're misbehaving bad enough that Pomp thinks they need to go, I know they're misbehaving pretty bad. So, you know, I know he and I've got kind of the same kind of humor as everybody else. We go a little tongue in cheek every now and then. Don't even go there. I just realized how that sounded. Anyway, uh, like I said, he's got pretty much the same kind of humor I've got. Well, Pomp, you can't take umbrage at something that's true. Actually, you can, but it doesn't make any sense. Uh, so I'm gonna take you guys downstairs with me. My earbud says that I'm down to 10% on the one I've got in my ear, and I'm pretty sure I left my other one down there. And I'm not worried about hearing you guys, but it is easier for me if I use the earbuds because he can't time himself out, but I can time him out. Put him in the naughty corner with no cookies. I know, Pomp. You're starting to scare me, man. Knock that shit off. You're really starting to scare me. I'm beginning to wonder if you were taken over by the body snatchers. If we got some Children of the Corn kind of shit going on. Wait, was that? Was Children of the Corn the body snatchers? I mean, I know there was a movie, Body Snatchers, but wasn't that what Children of the Corn was about? Was body snatchers? Yeah, there'll never be cookies in the naughty corner. No cookies in the naughty corner. And no rum either. That's why I try to avoid the naughty corner. Oh, yeah, it's talking in my ear. So the earbuds basically allow better sound. It doesn't, I don't think they pick up the outside sound as much when I'm talking into them. No. Nah, we ain't scared of demons. Except for the fart demons. We're very scared of fart demons. Hold on just a second. What, Mom? Oh, okay. When you get off the phone, come down and tell Paul your news. Oh, okay. Alright, love you. Mom thinks I'm on the phone. She doesn't realize I'm just talking to a bunch of people. Not actually on the phone. Hey, Ma. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not actually on the phone. I'm on a live. So I'll tell him my news. Okay. I shared it with these guys. No. So I made a phone call a little bit ago, and I now have a job. I gotta go Thursday to sign the papers down there at Wapapello at Jim's, that little bar and grill. There they are. Yeah, it's not a full 40-hour a week job, but. Denise Flood said to tell you hi, Mom. Denise, what? Here, they like you. Say hi, Mom.
Hi, everybody. How are you? We got okay. Let's. There we go. There we go. Take the glare off my head. Hi, you guys.
You kind of look like you had a star sitting on your head.
Yeah, or a halo.
Yeah, we're just hanging out right now.
Okay.
I was kind of bored, so.
All right, Miss Becky, let's go get. Yeah. You show them your food that you made.
The fajitas?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't show them the fajitas.
Oh, Lord, you gotta tease them with. Look at there. Tease them with that.
All right, cool, new bands. So Mom says I have to tease you. I made fajitas for dinner. I don't even know if you can see this. Get out of my food. I'm not trying to get out of your. See, my whole family, you don't want their food, they will bite your fingers off. Hi, Luke. How are you? Hey, stay tuned. Something funny. Angel's actually my mom's name. Hey, whoa, wait a minute, Pomp. I thought I only had 3 rules. No, 2 rules. I didn't know I had 3 rules. Wait a minute, where'd the 3rd one come from? I gotta back that up. Don't listen to Pomp? Oh, okay. Now hold on a minute. If we don't listen to Pomp, how do we know to laugh at his jokes? How you doing, Luke? Yeah, so I made fajitas tonight because it's quick, it's easy, it's something I like. I did not make them homemade. Well, I mean, you gotta make the meat and the vegetables homemade, but instead of doing my own seasoning, because I don't have my fajita seasoning mix with me, I went with the next best thing and got some McCormick's. So, yeah. I'm glad you caught that one, Phil. I'm no English teacher, but I thought maybe there was a couple letters missing there. So, can you guys still hear me okay? I just switched to my other earbud. I don't know, I always laugh at Pomp's jokes. But like I said, we have a lot of the same kind of sense of humor too, so there's a lot of times people are looking sideways at him and I'm going, oh, be quiet, Phil. I won't put you in the naughty corner. I'll tell Sarah you're picking on me. Hold on, guys, I gotta put this in. Alright, there we go. I didn't realize that the little plastic piece wasn't on the other one until I stuck it in my ear. Apparently it fell off in the box. Oh, that was for telling me you couldn't hear me when you obviously could. Sorry, my brain is Yeah, I seen you in Beardo's live, and you know the lady I was watching before I went live. I have never seen her before, but I really liked the way she did that. I went ahead and subscribed to her. I actually I can't pronounce her name. uh, but yeah, I went ahead and subscribed to her, so I'm gonna check her stuff out. Okay, so yes, that one. I can't pronounce that name. I'm sure it sounds pretty, but if I try, it's gonna be butchered to hell and back. I am not, Pomp. You think you're gonna get off that easy? You're stuck. You just supposed to get used to it and, make sure you like being here because you're stuck. Like, this is your permanent naughty corner. So, there. Just deal with it. Oh, well, I hope you guys couldn't hear that. That sounded like snap, crackle, pop. Well, I don't know about being good, but be good or be good at it, Pomp. That's what we always say. You guys heard that? Oh wow. So these these are better earbuds than I thought. That was my neck popping. I'm taking you guys outside. We'll have a little walk around. Actually, Candy, it felt pretty good. I've been trying to get my neck to pop all day. Had a mild headache at the back of my. Usually means I need to get my neck to pop. Yeah. Not to mention that I'm enough of a country girl that if I do something like that, I'm probably gonna die laughing. So if you ever hear something in the background that sounds smart and then I fall over laughing, that's because I have laughed. Oh my hands do the same thing. I've got arthritis so bad in my hands sometimes. Oh yeah, farts are always fun. Well, I can think of some instances where farts are not funny, but generally only to the person who farted. Yeah, like when it's not just a fart. Those are funny, but not to anybody. Not to the person who did them. What are you looking at, Ginger? I'm being spied on. My mom's cat Ginger is sitting down at the corner of the shed and she keeps peeking her head around. We're all magic trolls, Pomp, so it's okay. We're the good kind. Well, thank you, dear. I don't think so, but I don't know anybody who ever looks in the mirror and says, "Oh, that's just a spectacular looking person." I get up some days and I'm like, "Eh, you're doing all right. You're doing all right." Most of the time, it's like, get up and go to work. It doesn't matter. I've never been one about looks. The first time I had to actually dress up to go out on a date, I was kind of amazed. Didn't really like the date either. I don't like high heels and dresses. They're uncomfortable. It's like you guys that got to wear like suits and stuff. How do you do that all day? How? Yeah, you don't really misbehave, Paul. I mean, if you ever actually unleashed and started like hurling personal insults and stuff like that, I'd say, okay, maybe that's a little bit above and beyond, but that's one thing. Don't be afraid to state your mind, but be respectful. I'll say the same thing everybody else that does lives say. Be respectful, because I will block your ass if you're not. Just understand that you will be gone if if you disrespect my people. So yeah, couldn't do it. Candy, I think so too. I think sometimes people just don't realize that he's not trying to be a jackass. Pomp's just saying what's on his mind. Um, I do a lot of it the same way, and I don't ever mean to hurt anybody's feelings. But then again, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. You're an adult. If you can't take the facts, then hey. But again, I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, you're a dumbass and all that kind of crap. I'll be like, hey, this is what I got to say. I'm also not one to go back and argue about it. I'm gonna state my opinion as the way I see it, and that's gonna be that. And what you do with it afterwards, that's up to you. And I expect everybody to be the same way with me. There's always going to be people like that, Paul. When you've got a personality that draws people to you, there's always going to be other people that wish they had it. All right, I'm going down right there for a second because I got to stretch. Oh, come here, Batty. One of my favorite buddies coming up. Come here, Bartholomew. This is the one that likes to purr really loud. He cannot resist a chin scratch. He can't. In fact, he'll almost fall over for a chin scratch. See, that's the thing. I think we can all be ourselves, and if everybody was just, adult about it, the world would be a lot better off. It's okay that not everybody likes you. That's just how it is with being people. I mean, if we all had the same personality and we all got along, I'd be bored to death. Yeah, Cat, he's my buddy. That's Batty. Bartholomew. If he's in trouble, Bartholomew. Good one, Paul. Yeah, he's the one that he'll come up and he'll lay on the end of the couch and watch TV with me at night till he gets bored, and then he'll go play with the other cats or go and wake my mom up at 10 o'clock in the morning or evening to make her let him outside. Exactly. I try to do that. It's kind of like with females. A lot of them they want to tear each other down, and I'm like, why? Why? We're not rivals. There's somebody out there that's going to like me, and there's somebody out there that's going to like you, and they may not like me or may not like you, but it's okay. That's true, Paul. Just because you don't think the lady's attractive don't mean somebody else won't. I mean, we've all seen that couple that you're like on just the shallow level of the looks, you're like, why and why? And then you see them together, and it's like, that's why. They're a perfect fit. Yep, that's the truth. Hey, darling. How are you, Mariah? Well, Pump, now I'm going to tell you right now. There are some ladies that if you're not a gentleman, they will smack the gentleman into you. You got to be careful about them kind of ladies, man. They're kind of feisty. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, so I'm not going to go that way for a little bit because Ginger decided to mess with our dog. Well, not our dog. It's our neighbor's dog across the fence. Dog can't get to her. She knows this. So what does she do? She waits until the dog comes up to the fence, and she takes her little paw and she puts it between the fence, and she waves it at the dog until the dog starts going crazy. Then she hisses and runs like the dog's trying to attack her. And she started it. Cats are crazy. They really are. You generally are, Pomp. Honestly. Oh, they can be sneakers too. But Pomp, yeah, generally you are very polite. My grandma was an old Southern lady, and I don't think she would have any issue with your manners. You would definitely not have a spoon or cast iron pan thrown at your head. That was Granny's way of letting you know that she wasn't happy with you. Couldn't run very fast, but had an arm on her. Oh yeah. Like I said, Mariah, that dude was hilarious. He was. You could tell he just absolutely 100% enjoyed every minute of what he was doing. And when you've got a content creator like that, it doesn't matter what it is, they're going to make you want to watch it because you want to watch them and how they're going to react to it. Luke, are you saying that you've had a lot of cats in the last 22 years, or that you are only 22 years of age? If you are only 22 years of age, you would be one of the youngest people I've come across in this community. Yeah, I had never heard of him before, Pomp. Um, but I would like to see more of him. And Mariah, if you know any other content creators like him, definitely share them. I will be right there watching with you. I'm just scrolling back a little bit, make sure I didn't miss anything. Bye, Denise. Hopefully it goes easy and quick, and there's not a whole lot of it to do. 'Cause I hate housework. As you can see, it's still fairly sunny here. Don't know what time it is for you guys, but it's like 6:30 here. Time change definitely made a difference. I would hope that's what you're talking about. Yes, yes, pet cat. Come here, Gingy. Well, you tell me you want something, and then you walk away. I can't read your ever-loving mind. I will have to figure me out. Okay, well, SoCal, that doesn't tell me what time it is. That just tells me what you just did. So, that's what I'm working on. Hi, Julie. How are you, darling? We're just in here hanging out, chatting, literally bullshitting about everything. Mom's cat made an appearance. Mom made an appearance. Then Mom made me tease everybody in chat by showing them what I made. Nothing special, it's just fajitas. They are good, though. Some of my ham. Favorite food. One of them. Oh. Oh, she forgot to close down the dollhouse. Now she has cats in the dollhouse. Hmm. I'm not going in there and chasing them out. They get in there and they like to play. That's the only thing I worry about with this one doing lives. Me using StreamYard now. Um, I don't seem to be able to flip the camera around. Luke, you must be young. And it ain't worth your time to be a player, so don't worry about it. Trust me, for the guys that try that, it never ends well. I'm sure he didn't take offense by it. Like I said, you come into this chat, you better have at least a little bit of a thick skin and kind of a sense of humor about yourself. Trust me, I'll laugh at myself all day. Oh, okay. So Julie has been elected boss mod. Pump. You're only doing that because if she's the boss and you do something, she can be blamed for it. Don't be trying to throw Julie under the bus. That's not fair. I thought you liked Julie. Oh, it's going to be an early night. I thought so. You are a youngin'. That's about the age of my oldest kid. I think you're about a year older than him. He'll be 20. Yeah, about a year older. He'll be 22 in October. So yeah. My youngest one will be 18 in August. What day is your birthday, kiddo? Sorry, I don't mean to call you kiddo, but that's kind of a habit. Sorry. Pomp. Well, I don't know. Maybe he might want you to do that. I'll tell you. You're either trying to get him a real good time or a real bad one, Pomp. I'm telling you. August 13th. Hers is August 16th. She'll be 18 or 19 this year. She'll be gone to basic training before her birthday though. So. Oh, Pomp. You probably wouldn't be alive this long if you were. I'm pretty sure. Did he just come in? Did I miss Wisdom? Did I miss him? Or has he come on? Did he just come on with a new song? Hey, as long as it all works out in the end, right, Pomp? Oh, he's streaming. Okay, cool. I usually go back when it's right around bedtime and start playing all of Wisdom's new stuff. Wisdom and Phil both. I'll go back and forth between the two of them. Hello, Central Mass. Must you just come in? I think everybody's doing good. That's all right, Phil. Like I said, I usually play your music and Wisdom's at night. Kind of helps me relax. It's odd too. Nachos? I like nachos. Seems like everybody chose to do kind of a Mexican themed dinner. My boyfriend was doing tacos for him and his daughter. She's not feeling too good. Poor kid's got strep throat. Spends the whole week of her spring break with strep throat. Ah, man. I remember when I was a kid, get sick before break. It was always really, really bad. Yeah, so Wisdom just released a new one. Have to go listen to that one too. Definitely. Definitely. So now I know what I'm listening to before bedtime tonight. As I'm relaxing and kicking back. I was going to say something else, but I knew exactly how it would be taken, so I chose not to. Could have been bad. Sometimes I do catch myself. That filter works every now and then. Just every now and then. When I remember to pull it out and blow all the cobwebs out of it. So I really wish I could turn my phone around right now, but if I so much as move, it's going to run away. But there is a pretty white-tailed deer and her fawn just at the edge of my mom's yard. Oh, Pomp is not. Don't let him fool you, Luke. He's all right for, he's all right for a fella. The rebel Pomp. Mm, Could be, could be. Rebels have made great changes in this world. They have, they have. Pomp, you keep talking like that, and ain't nobody else gonna have to give you a bad reputation. You're gonna give yourself one.
Hey.
Some days all I can do is shake my head and smile. Oh, ow, 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 ow. He is. He can tell everybody whatever he wants, but you know what I know, Julie. He's a pretty sweet guy when he wants to be. Kind of like the rest of us. We can all be super sweet or super sour. I think most of the time we run about the middle. Pomp. No, I wouldn't say it's like that. Hey, Ross, how you doing? We're just hanging out and chatting, enjoying the last of the day's sunshine. Hi, Julie. Yeah, we're just chatting. Nothing big. I think mostly talking nonsense. But you know, it's what happens when you get bored. I think it got to 70 here today. What I can't believe it was supposed to be like 80 degrees later in the week, and it's early March, so you're gonna have to keep an eye on the skies. When we get that warm around here this time of year, it usually ends up being some pretty bad thunderstorms. And we're lucky if that's all we get. Hello, Penny. Okay, she's on a hunting mission. Never mind. She's not gonna stop and say hi. That will be tomorrow. I'm gonna go live about 1 o'clock my time. Um, I've got a really bad memory. I think it was Ches I was talking to earlier. So what I'll do is my live will come right before hers. What was that? Hang on. Occult Life, was that you I was talking to earlier that's going to be going live tomorrow? Or am I remembering correctly? Is it Cheza? So it'll be 1 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock Eastern, and then 6 o'clock UK time. And I did put a post up. If you guys want to actually take a look at the picture, I put a post on my page. Um, as I was saying earlier, with my new job coming up, I know I'll be off. I'll be off on Wednesdays and I believe Sundays. So it'll be Wednesday or Sunday when I do live streams. But I'd also like to keep doing actual videos. So it just kind of depends on how it goes. I may wind up doing like a video that day, like on Wednesdays, just do a video that morning, and then do a live that evening. Because Sunday's starting to get pretty crowded, and that's usually the day when I go take care of everything I need to take care of for the house, like getting animal feed and people food and all that. So, well, we shouldn't be getting that high a temperature just yet, Pomp, honestly. That's why I said when we get that kind of a temperature this time of year, this early in the year, it's usually accompanied by fairly bad thunderstorms. Um, yeah, Julie. So I have been subscribed to Beardo for over over a year now. In fact, if I hadn't had to let my membership lapse, I think I would have been 14 months now. And it's sporadic if I get any of his notifications. In fact, before they started doing that Me 6 thing with uh, Discord, I wasn't hardly getting notifications for anybody. And I would go in and look and make sure my subscriptions were still there, and they would still be there, and I would have all the notifications turned on, and it would do the same thing. Or I'd get the notification after I'd already been in the live for like an hour, or I might get it 2 days later. Um, Yesterday, I got a notification for Mr. Gray's last paranormal bingo bollock, and that's been um yeah, that's been like a week ago. I haven't actually done anything with mine. Um, I mean, I'm like connected to a lot of you guys on Discord, but I haven't actually done anything with my Discord thing. Kind of like for YouTube. I been watching YouTube for years before I realized I even had a channel. Yeah, seeing mine, I'll get them on Discord before I ever get them from YouTube. So I've noticed YouTube's just kind of weird anymore. It's like with me, I've had to go to doing StreamYard because I couldn't see chat on Facebook or not Facebook, YouTube. Like, I couldn't, and I tried every trick that they gave you. I know I bugged a few of you guys on here, um, trying to get it figured out, and it just won't work on my phone. I don't know if it's because of my phone, but everything else works. Obviously, I can stream from it, but it's just kind of weird. I am hoping to get either a new tablet, or a laptop to start working from. Yeah, I'm not any better at doing that than anybody else. But if you guys want to go tickle the like button, it laughs like a little baby every time you tickle his feet. Yeah, I don't remember the first time I ever actually chatted with anybody on the internet. I was in my 20s, I guess. Discord's all right. I treat Discord kind of like I do Facebook. It's a way to talk to people, but nah, I anybody that ever sees my Facebook page is like, really? Is she still alive? She hasn't posted anything in months. Well, like I get a lot of my notifications from Discord as far as like who's going live and who's had a video because YouTube doesn't. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much, other than a little bit of messages, pretty much the only thing I do with Discord is just the stuff on it that it sends me, tells me when this person's going live or that person has a video. So, oh, I think so. I like sitting outside, but these chairs are really uncomfortable. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do for my mom for Mother's Day. Just get her a pair, get her some comfortable outdoor furniture. I kind of wonder about that too, Pump, because sometimes I'll get like a notification from Discord, and I'll click on it, and it'll take me over. But then, where's the notification for the new thing? Julie, I don't know. Um, I know there's a way you can talk live on Discord, but I don't know if you could actually Or yeah, I know you can get notifications, but I don't know if they can just do them specifically for lives. Sorry, I was on a second train of thought while I was on that one too. All right, I'm gonna take you guys back in with me so I can get a more comfortable seat and a drink of water. Oh, hey puppy.
You see, I'm used to being on my mama's lap all day long.
Oh. Oh, watch out, Timmy. Timmy's the other cat. He likes to trip me on the stairs. Mom's cats are lovely. But each and every one of them has a different personality. And each and every one of them likes to play tricks in a different way. So it's kind of nice whenever I'm done working with Mom for the week when I can go home to my nice quiet house and my fish tanks. Yeah. Fish don't make a lot of noise. And they don't give you a lot of trouble. They don't shed. I love my animals, but I'm not a big inside animal person. If it's good enough for them to stay outside, they're usually outside. So I have a cat named Max, and he's a little black and white. I have a dog named Duke, and he's a little short-legged beagle. And then I have a silver lace Wyandotte hen named Lucy. Yes, Pomp. So let's see. She's got Timmy and Queenie, that her two older cats. Those two are rescues. Penny was a neighbor's cat that showed up and decided she liked Mom's house better. Bartholomew was a neighbor's cat who decided he liked Mom's house better. And then Penny and Bartholomew had kittens, of which there are now Tigger, Ginger, and Pepper. I'd say that qualifies her as a crazy cat lady. Yeah, she also has bird feeders all around the neighborhood, so she feeds the squirrels and the birds too. Now, my dog and my cat and my chicken, they all get along real well. Strangest herd I have ever seen in my life. But I can go out there when it's cold, and there are my dog, my cat, and my chicken, all in the chicken house, all curled up together under the heat lamp. Yeah, strangest thing I've ever seen. So, well, Pomp, I didn't call all of them Bob. So my two angelfish, that's Thelma and Louise. Um, my Placo is called Dino, Dino, because he looks like a dinosaur. Um, yeah, that's all right, Kat. I'm just glad you got to come in for a little while. I know what it means having to get up to go to work early. My new job will be mostly an evening job, so I won't have to worry about getting up early. I'll just have to worry about being up late, which I'm not used to. I have to argue with you, Pomp. I'm pretty sure my dog doesn't know whether he's a dog or a cat. My cat probably doesn't know whether he's a dog or a chicken, and I'm pretty sure my chicken don't know either way. She's just glad to be fed. So I've got my three oldest fish I've got named, but I still haven't figured out names for the other ones. Oh Oh, shit. Oh, my. Yeah, I feel they generally do. Kind of bob along top of the water when they die, unless they get caught in the intake. If they get caught in the intake, then they're yours to pull out. I've had that happen with a couple of my smaller ones. Yeah, you better get some sleep. You've got an interview in the morning. And no worries there. I'm sure you'll get it, Pump. Cat, don't let them work you too hard tomorrow. They will if you let them. Don't let them do it. You didn't ruin anything, Phil. Some people just have, slightly adult schedules they have to keep. Mine's about to get much more adult than it is now. And that kind of stinks. But, if it pays the bills, at least it's something I like doing. I'll be cooking and bartending, so, I don't know about the people so much, but I like the food anyway. Fingers crossed, Pump. Fingers and toes. I'd cross my eyes, but I need to be able to walk straight. Bye. Good night. Sorry, Pump. I had to do that. Hopefully, it was as funny as it sounded in my head. Kind of, I'm curious. I wonder how far away they will pick sound up. My earbuds. Hopefully, not from too far. So, squirrel. Sorry. I had a train of thought and then it derailed. Yeah, it's gone. Never mind. I'm absolutely sure he'll get that job tomorrow. You watch. He'll come in live tomorrow with a lot of good news, hopefully. I was surprised by the news I got. Been trying for, I don't know, for the last 6 months to get a job. Got a phone call from somebody about a job, made a phone call to another dude about the job, and got the job. It just happens that way sometimes. Oh, that was. So, I mean, fan or not, I couldn't imagine putting 8 years into something, a business, putting 8 years into it. It's all you got to have some yahoos out of nowhere come in and just boom, take it. I think I'd probably throw up. I think I would. I think that would. I mean, that would just be the reaction. I would just throw up. It would be that sickening. Um, I don't know how the laws are over there, but I hope whatever happens to them, they are prosecuted to the full extent of it. That's just crazy. I hope they can too. Because yeah, I mean that would be the best option is that they can get it resolved and get all their channel back. 'Cause like I said, I couldn't imagine putting 8 years worth of blood, sweat, and tears into something and like out of nowhere with no warning, have it just pulled right out from underneath of you. You know, I mean that shakes your whole world right there. Because I mean, if they can do that, then what else can they do? You know, it brings that thought in too. It's a shame. I may not always agree with them, but that's I don't care who you are, where you are. Mm, yeah. Anyway, I hope they uh I hope they get whoever did it and just really throw the book at them. People shouldn't be that way. You know what gets me about guys like that, people like that, is if they would put as much thought and hard work into a legal line of work, how much more successful could they be? I mean, they're not stupid. They figured out how to do something like that. That's a hell of a lot more than I could figure out how to do with a computer. So I don't get the attraction when you can make money with that kind of skills in a legal way. Why would you try to do it illegally when you know if you get caught, the consequences could be you lose your freedom. You know, no, it's like wow. You know, I mean, I guess you could apply that to really any criminal activity, though. I mean, if they're going to put that much effort and thought and planning into being a criminal, why not put it into being working at a legal job? You know, but yeah, they didn't deserve that. Uh-uh. I mean, personally, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. You know, I couldn't see wishing that on anybody. Yeah, there are, and I mean, some of the ways they find to do things, man. Like, I don't know if anybody else has had this, but like, it's not really the same thing, but it kind of is. It's still a type of fraud, but you get calls, and it's mostly like sales calls, but they will have cloned a number from your area, so it looks like a local number. But when you answer the call, or if you miss the call and try to call them back, thinking that hey, somebody misdialed your number, that person might answer their phone and be like, "Well, who are you?" And no, I didn't just call you. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I've had that happen a couple times, calling back, and no, I didn't just call you. Okay, well, I just got a call from your number, and they said they were from such and such, or you know, sometimes they'll answer, and I'll get into the conversation. I'm like, no, this sounds like a scam. Click, never mind. Um, you know, how do you figure out how to do that? Well, I don't know. I'm like, oh, hello, darling. How are you? I'm sorry. The first time I did that when you came into my first live, my mom looked at me like I had lost my ever loving mind. And just looked at me like, I'm like, that's when I explained about, you know, everybody, everybody does that to you. Yeah, I've learned actually not to answer those anymore. So, yeah, if it looks like a local number, a lot of times I'll just let my voicemail pick it up. And then if they don't leave a number, I know automatically it's an automated call. So, yeah, she did. She looked at me like I lost my ever loving mind. I mean, just tell you, she absolutely loves sitting in on my lives now, though. She thinks you guys are great. She's like, oh my God, they've got the same kind of humor you do. This is great. I love it. Like, well, you're welcome in anytime. They seem to like you too. So there are times, especially when I'm making a goof of myself like I'm now, that I'm really glad nobody can, you know, do that little clippy thingy. At least I don't think so anyway. I would be so embarrassed to watch myself back. I don't actually ever even go back and watch my own videos. I just can't make myself do it. I hope so, Ghost Leader. Like I said, we were saying that earlier. That was just kind of wow. Nobody deserves that shit. That'd be a that'd rip your guts out to put that much time and effort into something and having it just like ripped out from underneath you with no warning. So yeah, I have got a lot of numbers in my phone too. But every now and then, especially since I've been job hunting for like the last 6 months, I will get calls from places that I don't have actually in my phone. So unless I'm absolutely sure that I know the number, I will let my voicemail pick it up. Just simply because if they don't leave a message, then it was an automated call, and if they do leave a message, I'll know the company they're calling from. And if they don't state their company name, then I just don't call them back. Oh, sorry guys. Mm. Okay, hold on. My phone's doing something weird. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind. Just more notifications for stuff that I don't want. Jeez, I hope you guys can't hear that. They're loud down there. I mean, they're having fun, but they're loud down there. Mom's got company right now, so she's got a cat. She's got a house full of cats, and her friend's got this little dog, and she couldn't find a sitter for him, so she brought him with her. It's been interesting to say the least. Very, very interesting. And I think the little dog is sleeping upstairs, which is where I sleep. Luckily, he'll be on the opposite end of the house with her and not me, hopefully. Because I like little dogs, but that's not my little dog. So now, if I go home with other little dogs smell on me, my little dog's gonna be mad. Like he won't even come up to me to be fed, but he'll just stand off until I put the food down, and then he'll come and eat. He gets mad sometimes. Throws a fit. If a dog can throw a fit, he definitely throws a fit. Sometimes I think he thinks he's royalty. I should never have named him Duke. I believe it gave him airs. All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. I keep getting notifications, but none of them are important. However, I have a squirrel brain, so it still goes. "Beep." No, no problem there. I mean, not for me anyway. So every now and then I'm seeing my screen skip. I mean, I know I'm moving my phone, but does it actually like look like it cut out or anything? Because every now and then it looks like that on my end. And when I'm not talking, do you hear voices in the background? Walking and listening. Hmm. That's about the only thing I can do and listen. Is walk and listen. Okay, so do you guys, when I'm not talking, do you guys hear background? The reason I'm asking is that'll give me a good idea of how far away these things will pick up sound. Okay, so you are hearing, there are voices in the background. Yeah, yeah, okay. So I'm sitting upstairs on one end of the house, and they are downstairs on the other end of the house. I may get my other pair. They're pretty good shorter range, but they don't pick up near the sound out. Yeah, that's a long way to be picking up sound, especially since like I said, I'm upstairs and they're downstairs. Um, yeah, I think I'll have to get my other ones out. I've got a blue pair that will pick up my voice real well, but they can't pick up anything within a few feet away from the earbud. I didn't realize they picked up that far. Which means you guys probably hear me fairly well. Or not fairly well, I mean, you guys probably hear me really well. And I'm not really talking that loud. Actually, you're right, Mike. I think I do have a headset. Let me see. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna have to move my phone around a little bit, so this may look slightly like an earthquake, but it's not. Okay, so I can. So I have a fairly good headset, but they still plug in. They're not Bluetooth, but they still work really well. So I may try them. I can plug them into my phone. No, Mike, we're not cooking tonight. So on the menu for tomorrow, like I said, I'm just be starting 1 o'clock Central. 1 o'clock Central. Sorry, I'm Central time. Trying to keep up with 3 different time zones, starting to confuse me. But it's going to be garlic butter steak bites and creamy Parmesan pasta. And that will be on the menu for tomorrow. I did post a picture of it in the posts under posts on my page. If you want to take a look at what it is, uh, that's what I'm thinking. So I went and picked out the meat for it today, and we have a butcher shop about 8 miles from my mom's house. Absolutely great. They are. Oh, I wish this butcher shop was like halfway between my mom's and my house, because then I would go shopping there more often. But I went and picked out a couple of really good ribeye steaks. They're fairly well marbled, but they don't have a lot of fat edging. So I'm actually getting a pretty good price per pound. I'm not paying for a lot of fat. Um, I will actually take that and cut what there is off and slice it up and cook it down and use that to actually brown the beef in. Because one, it saves oil, and two, gives it a better taste. Um, and then the Parmesan cream sauce will be homemade. So let's see. There's only 5 hours difference. So yes, it'll be 6 o'clock in the UK. The reason is I wasn't sure. I'm pretty sure it's Cheza goes live at 8 UK time. And since I wanted to do this live, I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and go live at 6. So that's 1 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Eastern, and then that will lead into her live. Yeah, I thought so. The cool thing is, okay, so I'm just gonna tell you guys this now. Uh, I've never made this recipe before. This is a new one. My stepdad actually is joined in on the fun, and he found this recipe. He then proceeded to find a couple of more. So there's going to be a couple of recipes in the next few weeks that are going to be new. Um, Now, hopefully, I will be able to go live uh, for the next new recipe. I might try to go live on Sunday and go live a little bit later. Maybe go after Beardo. Um, and It's gonna be. I can't. I don't even want to tell you what it's gonna be because it's just. It looks incredible. Um, it looks like something that I would like to eat all myself, and would probably have a stomach ache from trying. So, uh, so yeah, that's gonna be a new recipe. I'm gonna do it live, and like I said, I'm pretty sure it'll lead right into Chesla's live. So, um, steak is one of my favorite meals. Like it with pretty much anything. I think, yeah, I even like it for breakfast, like steak and eggs. So yeah, it goes pretty much anywhere. I love it. And having access to a butcher that does it, that I can get fresh steaks from, that is even better. Oh, oh, ribs. Oh man, I have done them. Um, yeah, you can't say enough about how good they are. Um, if done right, they are like literally you want to have a spoon to dip them out with because if you try to grab it by the bone, even if you try to cut through the meat, I mean it's just gonna fall apart. It's crock pot ribs are fall apart, man. I love them. Um, I can get them almost that tender on the smoker. Yeah, yeah. Don't. That's another thing, especially if you use pork ribs. Use a dry seasoning because as that fat cooks out, it will make its own sauce pretty much. And if it doesn't, you can take the drippings and make your own sauce to go with it. That's what I normally do with them. I'll take the drippings out of the bottom of the crock pot and I'll add a little bit of cornstarch to it and a little salt and pepper maybe if it needs it. Make my own sauce to eat it with. Usually turns out pretty good. hmm And in summertime, it's nothing better than that. Fresh corn on the cob, fresh garden salad. My granddad never grew lettuce, so what my grandma always did, she just always picked a bunch of vegetables out of the garden, tossed it with some olive oil and some salt and pepper. It was good. Fresh sliced tomatoes with cucumber and onion. Mm. Now look, I'm making myself hungry. See, it does. It adds that. I either use the maple syrup or I use brown sugar. Depending on if I want to go with, say, what might be considered a Carolina style rub. It's got a little bit of like the mustard to it and stuff like that. Um, if I'm doing, I really don't know. Yeah, I know, making me hungry too. The maple syrup, I like doing that with like that little bit of cayenne pepper, um, a little bit of cumin. Yeah, I like to do the maple syrup with a little bit of spice to it. I think it sets it off real good. And no, don't use chili powder though, because there's something about the taste of chili powder. Now this might just be me, but there's something about the taste of that chili powder and that maple syrup kind of gives it a taste. It gives it a flavor, and I'm not gonna say it's a good one because it's not. Oh, another thing coming up, and I will probably be doing this just in a video. I'm gonna do. I'm finally gonna get that New York cheesecake made. That New York style cheesecake. Uh, it takes a while to cook though, so I'm not even gonna try. It's kind of complicated. I'm not even gonna try doing it on live stream. Um, it doesn't seem like it's gonna. It's not hard to make, but it does require certain steps. And if you don't follow those steps and you don't watch your times, it could turn out not nasty. I mean, it's still gonna taste good. It's just not gonna turn out right. Huh? That's slightly different than the one I use. I'm gonna have to try that. My grandma, whenever she would make it like that, she would use cinnamon or she'd use allspice, and I didn't care for that much. I'm gonna try it with the nutmeg. I gotta get some of my barbecue sauce made up again too. I got a friend of mine. They make homemade spicy mustard and salsas, and I usually make I do my own canned pie filling, and I do my own barbecue sauces. So we like trade, and apparently they're running low on barbecue sauce, and I don't have any more mustard left, so gotta get to cooking. I'm gonna be busy for a while. Here, I thought when I got to my 40s, things would start to slow down. I think I'm busier now than I have been since my kids got out of school. I don't know. If I keep getting busier as I get older, I'm not really sure I'm gonna like this whole aging thing. Just joking. Oh, yeah. I don't know, Mike. Julia, I was raised on homemade food, and I've noticed over the last few months since I've just been working with mom, and I haven't been moving as much. I've gained a little bit of weight, but I really attribute that older style of upbringing and lifestyle to why I'm healthy. I was raised on hard work. I've always lived out in the woods, which means, you know, at the least I was cutting wood for firewood, which, whenever you don't have a wood splitter and you're still doing it with a splitting maul, you build up some pretty big back and arm muscles, or at least stay in good shape. Homemade food has always been part of it. But when you cook your food homemade, you know what's going in it. You know how much is going in it. You know where those ingredients came from. It's not processed. It hasn't been touched by a million hands. It's not been tortured and turned and freeze dried and this done and that preservative. And especially, I'm really kind of lucky because not only do I know how to grow a garden, but my granddad grows a big garden, and so does my uncle. So most of the time, as long as I go help them take care of theirs, I don't even have to worry about growing my garden myself because their gardens do so well. You could feed a neighborhood for an entire summer on the vegetables they grow. So I mean, I'm lucky. Um, it's a shame a lot of people, I think, in cities and stuff like that, they don't really have the space to do that kind of stuff. But man, yeah, and there's nothing better than walking out in the garden in the late afternoon, picking a few weeds out, and you just smell the vegetables. The smell of those red ripe tomatoes, that sweetness of the corn, that little poppy spice of the green beans. Uh, you got almost a pepperiness from the foliage of the zucchinis and stuff like that, and it's amazing. I almost can't stand buying tomatoes in the wintertime because of how good a garden fresh tomato, even the hothouse tomatoes that we get, it's just not the same. Um, I grew up being able to eat fresh meat, like either deer meat and fish that we caught ourselves, or beef that we grew ourselves because my granddad always raised cows. Um, and I think that's why I'm still healthy because I've always eaten good food, not just taste good, but food that's good for me. That I know the source of. And there's really pretty good feeling in that too, because I mean, you feel kind of accomplished whenever you get to the end of your day and you picked all the stuff that's needing to be picked and you weeded it and you nurtured it. I've had elk. My granddad and my uncles a couple of years back before granddad got sick, they went um they went on a hunting trip and they finally got to go big game hunting and granddad was able to bring back some elk. Uh, he teased us when he got home. He said that's all he could keep the guys from eating because it was so good. It was really good. I've never had moose or antelope. I've heard both of them are kind of good. I've heard varying things on moose though. Some people say it's got a real strong flavor and they really like it. Some people say it's got a strong, uh, uh, not a strong flavor, an unpleasant flavor. Um, yeah. uh, See, that's the thing. Butchers used to be big over here too, but your big chain stores and I just small towns dying off really because you can't sustain a town if there's no place for your young people to work. If all your young generations have to move out, then your town pretty much dies off. Um, so yeah, I've been lucky. Like I said, I've always been able to have access to fresh meat. I've had to buy it from the supermarket, but I've always had the access to it. Especially with beef and fish and stuff like that. Never really raised a lot of chickens for meat. We raised them mostly for eggs. I know. I loved the elk. I haven't had it since though, so I keep saying one of these days I'm gonna go get one, but then I'm like, yeah, you don't like the cold weather, so you're not gonna go hunting anywhere. You won't even go hunting in Missouri, not unless you have to, because you don't like the cold weather, Cindy. So what the heck are you talking about? Me and myself and I, we get into this argument every time I talk about going somewhere to visit that's in a cold weather area. Yeah, my mind goes, oh, you'd like to. It's so pretty up there. You'd love to see the snow. And my body's going, what the hell is wrong with you? Your toes get cold. Your nose gets cold. Your feet get cold. Your fingers get cold. And then you're miserable. What the hell is wrong with you? And then my brain goes, oh, but it's so pretty. Yeah. And then I do this, you know. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's one thing, Jay. Depending on what areas you live in and what's native, it's fairly normal, especially in rural areas, to consume wild game. Um, like I said, there's some areas where it's not normal. Um, but I grew up out here, and we've got a recreational lake and conservation land and stuff like that, and they'll let hunters buy tags to hunt and fish. So even people from the city can come down. And we do get quite a few of them. It'll come down every year. Well, yeah, I could see where it would be expensive there. Um, I mean, they'll literally walk up in your yard over here. They'll raid your garden. They'll run out in front of your car and cause you to wreck, and then they'll get up and run off, and you're standing there going crap, and the deers run off, going, it's going ha ha ha, and you're missing half the front end of your car. Uh, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, they cause quite a few accidents over here. So, Mike, where did you live before? 'Cause I don't know. Well, not this far south anyway. We wouldn't. I don't think any of them are native to the state I'm in. Um, Honestly, here again, Jay, just Julie, it depends on where you live. If you live somewhere where you have access to rivers or creeks or lakes, sometimes pay ponds, um, then you can have fresh fish as often as you have time to go get it. Um, but it's going to be local fish. I mean, if you want something exotic, you have to travel for it. Like if you want fresh shrimp, you're not going to find it where I'm at. If you want it from, ocean to plate, you're going to have to go to the coast. Um, Same thing with, well, I mean, any of your ocean fish. You're not going to get them fresh in the heart of the country, but you will on the coast. You got catfish and bluegill and red ear. A lot of fish like that. They're nice pan fish, which means they're about the size of a frying pan if they're big. I use a cast iron, so I can usually get two of them in there. All right. So is anybody else doing anything later tonight? Do we have anybody coming live? I know Phil and Wisdom, right? Both have a new song, I think. I'm definitely gonna go check them out. I don't know if anybody else has got a premiere coming on. I know we're all kind of pretty much in the same community, but I have found some of you guys also know other people that I've never heard of. That's one thing I cannot. I can't like go check anything because if I leave here, it disconnects the live. I mean, I still have to go back in and push in, but it'll like make a circle. It'll make it do the little whirly thing. Oh, okay. I think the dog came in now. This is gonna get interesting. One small dog in a house full of cats that are bigger than he is. This poor dog is gonna be so neurotic by the time he leaves here. I almost feel sorry for him. In fact, I think I do feel sorry for him. Poor little guy. Yeah, I don't have any notifications. So it looks like the shape posted a video. And Rosside, if you're still in here, I just got the notification about yours. Phil was saying that he just released one, I think, and I believe Wisdom did too. Yeah, Mom has. So I guess technically what you would call it is she's got two rescues. That's her two older cats, Timmy and Queenie. Two cats who decided that they were going to adopt her, and so they came over and stayed. And then those two cats, before she could get them fixed, had a litter of kittens. Luckily, she was a small cat. She only had three kittens. So yeah, she's got 7 cats. I wonder if she's counted recently. That's a lot of cats. And I like animals, but that's a lot of cats. Yeah, Mrs. Doolittle. Well, she also feeds the birds, and she feeds the squirrels, and she has one shot glass. And she takes this shot glass and she takes peanuts and she puts them out on the banister, and she crunches the peanuts. So, are you rearranging? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in front of the closet. So yeah, she's got a lot of animals. If you include all the outside and inside ones, the birds, lots of birds everywhere. The cats eat those a lot. They're very prolific hunters. Very good at what they do. They're not gonna like it if you move their cat house. They live by the wildlife. Like we live out in the woods, so wildlife is everywhere. Well, guys, well, we are coming up on 2 hours, and I have a couple of things I want to get done before I go to bed. I do not have to get up early in the morning, but for some reason I got up early this morning, so now I'm tired. So we will. We will have to say good night. Sweet dreams. Bye, everybody.